for the kids. They were missing, parents weren't helping. On the stand is a retired detective from the Rexburg Police Department. Sometimes what they find is as important as what they do not find when they're going through some of these foundational searches. Let's go back to more of that testimony.
Was there a search on August 25th that was of note to you?
Yes.
What was that for?
So on August 25th, the user of this account, which the name on the account was Lori Vallow, the user of this account on the 25th looked up wedding rings made of malachite, visited some sites with that. At one point, the user attempted to make a purchase of 2 of those rings, and they were basically silver with the green malachite through the middle of them. Each one was an 11.5 size ring, and the other one was a 4.25. And a purchase was attempted for a total of $808 on that date.
Are you aware if that purchase was successful?
No, I was later able to find out that the credit card used had failed, and so the purchase was never completed.
And on this same account, Lolly Time Forever, was there anything that you noticed in the search history on September 20th?
September 20th, which was 3 days before we believe JJ.
Judge, I'm going to object at this point. It's non-responsive.
I think he's just providing information for the answer, Your Honor.
And it's non-responsive information.
It's overruled. You can answer.
So on the 23rd, when we believe JJ was deceased, on the 20th, knowing, the user of the account looked up the definition and meaning of possessed.
Okay. And to clarify, I don't know if I did this before, Lolly Time Forever, who was that account associated with?
Lori Vallow.
And then was there anything that stuck out to you in the search history on that account, Lolly Time Forever, on September 30th of 2019?
Yes, so on September 30th, which would have been 2 days before Brandy Boudreau's attempted shooting, the user of this account looked up how to remove the back seat from a Jeep Wrangler. The user of that account then accessed a YouTube video on how to do it, and that video was accessed.
And why was that of note to you?
Because 2 days later, gray Jeep Wrangler with Texas license plates was noted as being the vehicle that a gun was shot at Brandy Boudreau from the rear of that vehicle in Arizona.
Is that in fact the same Jeep that you found, that law enforcement found in Rexburg?
Yes, on the 4th.
4th of November?
Yes.
2019?
That's correct.
Did you do any searches on the account of chad.daybell@gmail.com?
Yes,
Did you look at that search history?
I did.
Why did you do that?
Again, at this time, we were still looking for children.
And was there anything in the search history of chad.daybell@gmail.com that caught your attention?
Yes.
What was that?
It would have been September 8th, 2019, the day before we believe Tylee was.
Judge, I'm not sure I heard the year. I may have heard that wrong.
2019.
2019. Thank you.
And what did you find?
The user of Chad Daybell looked up what the wind direction was going to be or the following day, which would have been the 9th.
And in the course of your investigation, why was that of note to you?
Judge calls for speculation.
Overruled.
Because we believe on the 9th was the day that Tylee was, her body was burned and buried in the fire pit behind Chad's house.
Detective, we had talked about when we were going over your list of warrants under 2020-25, about 10 electronic devices seized from Chad and Lori in Hawaii.
Yes,
Did you search any of those devices yourself?
I did.
Did you have occasion to search a PNY USB flash drive?
I did.
What did you find on that flash drive?
Upon initial looking at the flash drive, found several wedding photographs from December 5th of Chad and Lori's wedding in Kauai, Hawaii.
I'm sorry, what date did you say?
Would have been December 5th. Or sorry, November 5th.
Okay, thank you.
Just constant reminders of the tight time frame we're talking about here, the disappearance of the children, the death of Tammy Daybell, and then, hey, we're married and we're in Hawaii for our honeymoon. Just a crazy sequence of events being laid out by this former detective. Catherine Lozardo is here, Sky Lozaro. And as I listen to this kind of testimony, it just keeps reinforcing, Catherine, that this was a bizarre series of events. Doesn't mean Chad Daybell orchestrated and or killed his ex-wife and the kids. Maybe we're not quite there just yet. But tell me about these Google searches. They tell us so much about what somebody allegedly has searched for or not. But we always attribute it to whomever the account is owned by. Hey, that was Chad's account. He must have done it. Not necessarily. What do you think, Catherine?
Yes, this sounds like deja vu of when Lori Daybell's, Vallow Daybell's trial was happening, where these Google searches came up as well. And I remember testimony like this, that there were a lot of Google searches about wind direction the day before Tylee was killed. And sadly, now we know that that's because her body was burned in the fire pit, as that witness testified to the day after that search was done. But yes, correct. We question whether or not it's actually the person who owned the device that did that Google search. But there's that presumption for a lot of people that it is you. So now the next step is to point that finger on Chad, because again, they might point it to Lori and say, well, actually, it was Lori. She had access to her husband's phone and devices. So how do we know that it's not her, that it's actually Chad?
Yeah,
the defense will be doing that.
I agree. And I think that helps so much for the defense to shift that suspicion to Lori, the convicted person, and away from Chad. Certainly that's going to be their goal. Let's take a break here. Stay where you are, guys. We're going to get more into this case as it continues to unfold. The Chad Daybell murder case underway in Boise. We'll be right back.